Elliott, who chose Colandrea over Muskin. You saw Tyler Black. He will kick it deep to the Notre Dame transfer, Chris Tyree, and it'll start at the 25. So the always confident sophomore quarterback, Anthony Colandrea. Last year we showed you he started 6 games, and he led all Power 5 freshman quarterbacks in passing yards. Last week, threw for a couple of touchdowns, ran for one as well, and showed improved decision-making.
Yeah, the decision-making is something he's going to continue to work on, Mike, because he thinks that every play he's going to just turn it into backyard football. He's got to learn to get rid of the football at times. Sometimes just get to the next down. That's what he's felt he's learned this offseason.
From St. Petersburg, Florida, Colandrea at 6 feet, $183, leads the Hoos. Kobe Pace is his running back, and it's a little flip to Chris Tyree, who had 3 drops last week. They're trying to get the speedster going. Takes it out past the 30 for Tony Elliott in year 3, and he's been saying to his staff, this is a program game against, like we said, a like-minded opponent.
Yeah, both teams very similar. Older teams, right? When you think about the transfer portal, NIL, these are 2 teams that have juniors and seniors, graduate transfers, guys who have played a lot of football.
He said to us down on the field pregame, how do we match up as a program? We got a flag comes in on the far side of the field, and it's going against Virginia.
False start offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's on Trell Harris, the Kent State transfer wide receiver. This game officiated, led by Jerry Magallanes. So backs him up into 2nd and 9. A lot of bootlegs for the Cavaliers, and Colandrea on the run into traffic, and it's incomplete. Intended for Trell Harris with Jamari Glasker in coverage.
Yeah, Glasker was all over that one. This is an opportunity that I thought that Colandrea should have just took off and ran with the football. A lot of green grass in the area, but he forced that ball. When you throw late in the down, that allowed Glasker to pick up and almost pick that ball off.
So it sets up 3rd down. Option. Colandrea keeps, and he is dragged down immediately by Kevin Pointer. The 6th-year senior from Arkansas forces 4th down.
Oh, I love it. Kevin Pointer, he was on point on that play. Did a nice job of feathering the quarterback. He's going to be right there on the screen. Just watch him. He just sits there. He watches the quarterback, and he plays the quarterback. He doesn't go for the pitch man. That's how you defeat it. Force the pitch. Colandrea doesn't pitch, then you go make the tackle. Outstanding job by Pointer.
Makes a big stop on the defensive line for Wake, which is without Jasheen Davis tonight due to injury. A low bouncing kick hops into plus territory in front of Taylor Morin, and is down just inside the 30. So now Wake Forest and the 25-year-old 6th-year senior Hank Bachmeier making his first Wake start. ESPN 300 recruit, started as a freshman at Boise State, left during his senior season. Last year, Louisiana Tech, portal again, and he picks Wake for what he told us is his last shot.
I've known Hank Bachmeier for a long time. He went to Boise State, and when you go to Boise State, you're always compared to Kellen Moore, one of the greatest quarterbacks in college football history. I think there was a lot of pressure put on him. And now on the journey, getting all the way here to Wake Forest, he feels he's much more comfortable in this offense at Wake.
Wake Forest put up 45 last Thursday against North Carolina A&T, and Donavon Claiborne has just a yard, ran into Chico Bennett Jr. healthy this year.
Yeah, he also ran into number 5, Cam Robinson. It's going to be a matchup that we'll talk a lot about today. Number 5, Cam Robinson, and Donavon Claiborne. But this defense of Virginia, very stout last week in their win over Richmond.
On 2nd down, they get it out quickly to Claiborne, and he's got a 1st down. Tiptoes out near the 45. Dick Clausen said Donavon Claiborne's maybe the most dynamic tailback in his 11 years here in Winston-Salem.
I think that's where he's improved. That's where he's improved out of the backfield. We know he can run the ball, but out of the backfield, those catches.
There was 14 there. Now Bachmeier pulls it, slips it up the sideline, complete. It's Harry Lodge. And the tight end rumbles to the 25.
Mike, who did I talk about all week long? I said, nobody's giving love to the tight ends. Harry Lodge, number 89, he just lined up on the outside, and everybody went with Claiborne. Nobody went with the tight end, Harry Lodge. He had 2 catches last week. That's his biggest catch of the year so far on the sideline.
And those were the first 2 of his career for the redshirt sophomore from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Bachmeier with a clean pocket, throws across the middle, and he's got Donavon Greene. The 6th-year senior has missed 2 entire seasons with knee injuries. Boy, he's talented when healthy.
You see the protection? Bachmeier's just sitting back there scanning the defense. No pressure. And he shows you when he's able to have time, delivers a nice football.
Against the Virginia defense that last year was the worst scoring defense in ACC play. Claiborne accelerates up the middle. Touchdown, Wake Forest. Donavon Claiborne for 6.
I want you to watch the block right here by Devontae Gordon. He gets 2 for 1. He goes down, he gets 1 block. Then he comes back out, he gets another block. And just look at the crease in the alley that he gives Donavon Claiborne. The one thing about these running backs, they go 0 to 100 real quick. And you saw it, Claiborne racing to the end zone for a touchdown.
Matthew Dennis tacks on the extra point. And what did Donavon Claiborne say to us yesterday? In this offense, when I see the first vertical seam, I'm trying to hit it. Don't go sideways, just hit the gas. And he does for a touchdown. We welcome you back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico. 1:51 seconds on the touchdown drive, which looks pretty good with one of the new tweaks in college football this year. Up to 18 tablets on sidelines.
Yeah, I always say there's no hiding now, Mike. The eye in the sky don't lie. That's what he always used to say on the sideline. That video camera, hey, sorry, coach, I just couldn't block him.
Live video instead of just the still photos that you're only allowed in the NFL. So another touchback. And let's walk into Kirk's key. What do you got on Anthony Colandrea?
Well, this is what Anthony Colandrea can do. Look, first play of the game last week, QB draw. Just get the quarterback going, get the confidence going, get him involved in the football game early on. But what he's worked on is planting the back foot when he throws the ball. He said his mechanics were off last year, but when he plants the back foot, you see the accuracy and the ability to get the ball off. But what he's really best at is extending plays, turning nothing into something. Last week, that was a 57-yard touchdown to the running back, Jack Greasy.
Throws a screen to his stud wideout, Malachi Fields, who gets wrapped up immediately by Jamari Glasgow.
How many times will Malachi Fields get the football today? He's their everything guy offensively. What the coaches call a Sunday guy. So he's going to get the football a ton today. Last week, Malachi Fields had 5 catches for 100 yards. I can see that number go north of 5 today for sure.
Including an insane diving catch. Second down, here's Colandrea rolling, and it's Fields again, matched up with Glasgow. Out of bounds at the 45 and 19 more yards.
I feel like Colandrea's playing with a little danger there. When you throw that ball all the way across, they got to have some zip on it. You're allowing Glasgow, the cornerback, on the left side of the screen to sit back and recover. If you give a corner that much time to recover, you just got to be accurate with the football.
Colandrea to the air again, and he airs it out. Downfield, Trell Harris the drop. Right there for the taking.
You can't throw a better football. It's right in the hands of Trell Harris. I don't know if the sun is going down right in his eyes. That is a drop pass for a touchdown. How do you respond, though? Okay, it's over now. How do you respond? You saw Colandrea saying, hey, calm down, it's okay. Missed opportunity for Virginia.
On second down, Colandrea keeps and tries to break away, gets just a couple of yards, and it brings up third down with Branson Combs, the sixth-year senior transfer, in on the stop.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on these linebackers and safeties for Wake Forest. They had a poor tackling performance. They got to tackle better today. But this is the first huge third down of the game. 3rd and 8 for Virginia. They want to capitalize on that mistake that they just made and not catching that football. Can they convert for a first down?
From midfield, 4-man rush, sideline incomplete. A little bit too tall, intended for Donavon Greene, the UNC transfer, and it's 4th down.
So he's got to layer the football a little bit. When I say layer it, he's got to put a little bit of an arc on that ball. You can't have it just rip it to that sideline. And I think that's what coach is talking to Anthony Colandrea now. You want to just layer it over Devon Patterson, number 13, who is over in coverage.
Yeah, you saw Des Kitchings, the offensive coordinator for Virginia, talking with Colandrea there when he came to the sideline. Daniel Sparks is the punter. Sends a good one in the direction of the veteran Taylor Morin, who makes the fair catch just inside the 15. Wake Forest gets the football back with the lead at home at Winston-Salem in the ACC opener.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Geico. Get more ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Geico. Get more with Geico. And in part by ACE, 100 years of helpful.
Pop culture, basketball, royalty, golf greats. Some of the famous Wake Forest alums to ride in with the Demon Deacon. And the motorcycle wasn't quite a favorite of Mike Krzyzewski's. The exhaust would always be pointed at the Duke huddle during basketball matchups. Rev that thing up, Kirk. Yeah. All right, so Wake Forest gets the football for the second time after they marched down 5 plays, 71 yards, capped off by the 17-yard rushing touchdown by Donavon Claiborne. And Hank Bachmeier back at the controls. The drive starts from the 14, and it's Claiborne who squirts up the middle for a couple of yards. Jamir Carter in on the stop for the Hoos.
Yeah, even with the coach-to-player communication, this is a team in Wake Forest that still goes fast. They are still going to continue to run that no-huddle, quick on the football to the next play.
Bachmeier pulls it, and down he goes. Cam Robinson, the sophomore Mike linebacker, who got freshman All-American honors last year, makes the sack, and it's third down.
Cam Robinson is active. He's going to talk. He's going to be loud. He comes with a presence. That time comes off the edge. A little delayed blitz, and gets to Bachmeier.
Third down, 4-man rush, and Bachmeier wants the sideline back shoulder, and incomplete. Intended for Donavon Greene. Jam Jackson in coverage, fourth down.
That's a good defensive series for Virginia. I can tell you this, they went to that sideline. They didn't like how that opening drive went, but that last series you saw, they put the pressure or applied pressure to Hank Bachmeier, and they got off the field.
It's a big stop early in this game for Tony Elliott's group.
That's huge.
Antonio Clary is back waiting on the punt from the veteran Ivan Mora, sixth-year senior, fifth year as the Wake Forest punter. And he gets it away from the 5, takes a hop at the 44. And rolls down to the 31. We'll kick off week 1 of the NFL with the Sunday NFL Countdown Crew, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app, led by Greene. And Monday Night Football, it's Jets and 49ers. 8 Eastern on ESPN, ABC, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. Peyton and Eli, they're back on E2 here at ESPN Plus with coverage starting at 6 Eastern.
Have you set your fantasy roster yet?
Yes, I'm embarrassed to say I had 2 drafts go auto draft.
Okay. All gas, no brakes has been set. That's the name of my fantasy.
Wow. It's a flea flicker. Colandrea on corks downfield, and it's Fields. Malachi Fields involved early into plus territory for the Cavaliers.
I love the shots down the field. We've seen 2 of them now. The first one, Troy Harris dropped. This time they do a little razzle-dazzle and gets a nice completion of Fields.
21 yards to Malachi Fields. Colandrea, quick release. It's Fields again. Fields down the sideline. And bumped out of bounds by Nick Anderson inside the 5.
Remember, he's 6'4", 220. Okay, this is a 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver moving the way that he does. That's just an easy throw. Get it to the outside and allow Malachi Fields to make a guy miss. Does an outstanding job making Capone Blue just eat the dirt. That's a nice job, Malachi Fields. I said earlier, last week he had 5 catches. He's going to have well north of that today.
And you said how much? Well, it's 4 for 86 already midway through this first quarter in Winston-Salem. Colandrea rolls, tucks toward the end zone. He is stacked up, and down he goes at the 1. Boy, this has been a great answer defensively and offensively for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I love it. This is a physical game, too, especially get inside that 5-yard line. Nick Anderson, 45, he comes flying in there. But Colandrea, he's a tough guy, right? I mentioned he's always competing. AC, he's 6 foot 183. I think they're generous with the 6 feet, but he is unafraid near the goal line.
Second down and goal. Fake the pitch, Colandrea tucks, and he's stacked up again. Branson Combs forces third down.
Oh, what a job by Combs. Was not fooled. Kept his eyes on Colandrea. That's the second time a guy who's playing the edge keeps their eye on the quarterback. Remember, Pointer did it earlier. This time, Combs, just do your job, right? Coach Belichick talks about it all the time. Do your job. That's an outstanding play on the edge by Combs.
I think they got a steal in the portal with him from Southern Illinois. Third down. Kobe Pace off the right side, and he's bottled up. What a stand by Wake Forest. Fourth down. And what's the decision here for Virginia, Tony Elliott?
I'm going for it. You've got all the way down here. I'm going for it. Nice job by Evan Slocum on the last play. Build a wall. Build a wall.
Well, the field goal unit's coming out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going for it. I'm on the road. That's a big drive. 3 points is probably not going to help me out right now. I feel like, why not go for it? Use this momentum.
So Will Bettridge comes out, the junior from Miami, who last year was 18 for 21. And the chip shot from 19 yards away is good. And Virginia settles for 3. Anthony Colandrea probably wanted more for the Cavaliers there.
I think he wanted more. 3 straight runs, no Malachi Fields throws, 3 points.
Let's take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Verbo.
All right, cover your eyes, Mike. Don't look at the number 5. Don't look at the number 5 team in the AP Top 10. For our producer, Caitlin Urker, sorry about the number 10 team. Yeah, Michigan goes down to Texas. Notre Dame upset by Northern Illinois. I mean, I love the standings, don't get me wrong. And Georgia had a scrimmage today versus Tennessee Tech, so that was pretty cool. But I love the rankings, I do. But let's wait for about 6 weeks to really find out who these teams are. I know they're upsets, but come on, man.
We got a flag on the kick that goes out of bounds just inside the 5. You're just throwing shade at everyone here on this group.
I know.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team. First down at the 35-yard line, Wake Forest.
All right, so Kirk, you teased this earlier. Wake Forest running back Donavon Claiborne and Virginia linebacker Cam Robinson, they're cousins. Claiborne told us they basically grew up together. They were always at family events for one another. They played Little League football growing up, 7-on-7, and now they lock horns here in the ACC.
Yeah, number 5 on defense in white, number 1 on offense in black. 2 cousins battling it out today. I've already had a chance to introduce themselves.
And there's Claiborne, who was running in the direction of Cam Robinson before Terrell Jones got to him.
Yeah, look at the end of it, though, right? He won't even help his cousin up off the ground. I know you're supposed to be family, but not even helping him up off the ground.
And I'll tell you, before this first possession, they were jawing over here on the sideline, too. I saw it.
That's what Damond promised to us as well. We got pre-snap movement here, and it appears to be on Wake Forest.
False start, offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Damond told us it's going to get chippy. He said they haven't talked at all this week. He said, I might say hey before the game, but once the whistle blows, quote, we're enemies, and I'm trying to take off his head.
He won't stop talking. You know, I watch the games during the week. You know, I watch him back on mute, and I can still hear him. That's how loud he is on tape. Always talking, number 5, Cam Robinson.
Second out at 15, and Hank Bachmeier to a jumping Horatio Fields. Gets out to the edge, the talented redshirt junior at 3 grabs last week. 10 yards there, and it's third down.
Another third down opportunity here for both sides. Defensively, Virginia's keeping things in front of them. And can Bachmeier execute, get a first down here?
It's third down at 5 from the 40. Pressure comes. Bachmeier stands in, throws up the seam. Fields hangs on inside the 20. Feathered beautifully by Hank Bachmeier for 42 to Horatio Fields.
I love the word you use, feathered, because earlier I said on the other side, Colandrea could have layered. Watch how this ball, he layers it, feathers it right over the top of the defender, number 9, Jackson. So what you're seeing is a nice job by Bachmeier leading his wide receiver to the football.
Sets up Wake Forest in the red zone. Claiborne spun away from James Jackson, and the pile pushes inside the 10. 9 yards on the ground for Donavon Claiborne.
He puts Cam Robinson in a pickle. At number 5, he's by the line of scrimmage, and the action in the backfield is, does he commit to the running game or the quarterback?
And now it's Claiborne up the middle again, bouncing, and he gets swung down by the corner, Jam Jackson. It's a first down. It sets up 1st and goal.
Look how efficiently this offense is going for Wake Forest. And Bachmeier just gets to the line of scrimmage. Remember, he's only been here for a couple months, and he's run this offense as if he's been here for a couple seasons already.
Remember, Michael Kern got the start in week 1. But Bachmeier starred down the stretch off the bench. Donavon Claiborne cuts back to the left, and he ducks down after 2 yards. I mean, you think about it in that context. Bachmeier and Kern were splitting last week, but Bachmeier played so well. He earned this start, and again, this offense is humming in the first quarter.
Yeah, a lot of it is just because of his poise. Bachmeier's been doing this for a long time. From Louisiana Tech last year, he comes in, learns this offense as quick as possible.
Bachmeier looking for an angle, and it's incomplete, intended for the tight end, Harry Lodge. Third down.
It's a good job by the Virginia defense. They kept an eye on Lodge. He's the tight end. When he comes across the line of scrimmage, it was one of those plays where he was wide open last week. They didn't connect on a touchdown, but watching film, nice job by the Virginia defense. They were all over the initial part of that play.
And another third down for Wake Forest. Can Virginia's defense come up with a similar type of stop up near the goal line that Wake Forest's just did at the other end? Hank Bachmeier scans, floats, and it's incomplete. Not on the same page there with his intended target, and it's 4th down.
Good distribution of the routes. So the communication was there from the Virginia secondary. That's why there was nowhere to go with the football for Bachmeier. That's a great hole by the Virginia defense. Bend, don't break, but nice job of communicating. Bachmeier honestly just throws that football away because it was well covered by Virginia.
So Dave Clausen will kick it as well from 21 for Matthew Dennis, the redshirt junior from Charlotte. 3rd year as the Deacs field goal kicker. Last week good in his only try from 31. And Matt Dennis is good. And the lead is 7 for Wake Forest. Hey, this season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. All right, so what we've seen so far, Anthony Colandrea and Virginia settled in offensively. He definitely wanted them to go for it on 4th and goal from inside the 5. And meantime, Hank Bachmeier's got the Wake offense going.
Yeah, I think on the Virginia side, you think about what should have been a big play, almost a touchdown to Terrell Harris. That was dropped. They get down inside of the 5-yard line, and they don't convert on a touchdown. They get the field goal. And then on the opposite side, the offense for Wake Forest is definitely, they're moving, they're humming. But a nice hole by the Virginia defense. So both sides have had some pluses and minuses in this first quarter.
And 10-3 is the Wake advantage with 2:27 to go in the first in week 2 of the college football season. Tyler Black gets one away toward the dangerous Chris Tyree for a touchback. All right, Anthony Colandrea is always competing, like you've said, and he's also a leader as a sophomore. He organized a trip with 13 offensive guys to go down to Florida over spring break. One house, 17 rooms. They worked out and they bonded. He said to us, I felt like it brought us together. We weren't that close before.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a true freshman, it's hard to truly be a leader right away. And he said, I needed one of these opportunities to show the guys who I am, to show them I can be the leader. And that's one of the reasons why I think he was able to win this job out of camp, truly showing leadership all offseason after a tremendous freshman year.
Here's Colandrea on 1st down, rolling out and finding Tyree, who gets swarmed immediately by Evan Slocum. Done.
Guys, you want to know where he got the idea? He went to high school with Bills and former Chiefs wideout Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and those two have stayed close. Anthony joined MVS in Houston when his then quarterback Patrick Mahomes would get all his receiver skill guys to go on a trip together. He was just in high school. He said once he got to college, he would do his own trip together to work and play. Pointed out, the best football teams are always the closest, right? Kirk, you can speak to that.
Yeah, always the closest, but I'm just looking at the Patrick Mahomes effect. Every quarterback wants to be attached to Patrick Mahomes, just to be in his presence, learn the leadership, learn what it takes to be a quarterback. But this is where the quarterback right now shows the learning curve. 3rd down, big 3rd down. You had a couple of positive plays, but getting 1st downs on the big money downs right here.
Kobe Pace just took it for 4, and now 3rd down. Colandrea flushed on the move and just gets rid of it. Virginia's got a punt.
But that's okay. See, this is the learning process that we've talked about. Last year, Anthony Colandrea would have tried to force a play, tried to force that 1st down, and a ball would get intercepted. That's a throwaway. Throwing the ball away, getting to the next down, punting the football, but keeping your team from those mistake plays. That may go down as an incompletion, but I'll tell you this, his coach over there right now, Tony Elliott, said that's a positive for us in the right direction.
Daniel Sparks, who they call Sparky lovingly, to Taylor Morin at the 29, and he gets wrapped up immediately. Hey, next Saturday's SEC on ABC college football tripleheader looks like this. Number 18 LSU against South Carolina at noon. Then A&M and Florida in the swamp. 7:30, it's number 1 Georgia after a win earlier today convincingly against Kentucky. Each game also available on ESPN+, and we'll see how happy or angry Brian Kelly is after that one.
You said Georgia played a game today?
What'd you call it earlier?
Scrimmage. I think they had, 10-minute quarters in the second half or something like that. I don't know. Georgia was they're the best team. So they're playing Tennessee Tech. They got a little more steeper competition against those Wildcats next week.
Ohio State 2. And meantime, Texas looked dominant. We saw them last week in Austin.
Quinn Ewers, man.
Wake Forest with the football. Late first quarter, up by 7. Virginia brings heat. Bachmeier floats it, and Fields hangs on to it. Horatio Fields working on Jam Jackson for 31.
You tell me, what is Jam Jackson supposed to do? Mike, what is he supposed to do? He's in coverage. That's great coverage. That's just a better throw from the quarterback, Hank Bachmeier. The receiver, Fields, is able to go down the field and stay on that red line and allow the quarterback to layer it in there.
6 grabs in 2 games for Horatio Fields, who had 5 grabs total his first 3 years.
The field is a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
Definitely want to take another look at that one, but from my initial look, I thought that he gained control of the football and got a foot in bounds. I love the throw. There was a little bit of a bobble, but I think that he maintained possession. I don't know if I see enough in my initial look of the replay to overturn that one, Mike.
When the legs come down out of bounds, where's his possession at?
I think that's all part of the process. So a part of the process, he's got the foot in and he goes through. That was the evidence I was given at first. Now looking at more evidence up here on that, as he rolled over, may have not have full control of that football. So now I think that this may get reversed now.
And the letter of the law is this: the player must maintain complete and continuous control of the ball throughout the process of contacting the ground. So does he maintain complete and continuous control as he comes to the ground?
Absolutely. And it's when he turns over, he doesn't have that firm control that we're looking for. I think the initial, you see he's got the ball in the hand, but in the process of going down to the ground, as he kind of turns over, he loses firm control of the football, and I think that's what the officials probably see here, and they'll reverse this call.
I'm with you. I think so.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
After further review, it's an incomplete pass. 2nd down.
So they get that one right in the end. And it wipes out another big gain through the air for Wake Forest, and in particular to Horatio Fields.
And it was an outstanding throw. By the way, you go back to the quarterback, that was a perfect throw. Just ran out of real estate there in the conversion of trying to hold that ball in for Horatio Fields.
So big swing. It brings Wake Forest back to the 28 for 2nd down, approaching the final minute of the first quarter. Deacs up by 7 on the Who's in the ACC opener on both sides. Hank Bachmeier surveys, and down he goes. James Jackson, the senior linebacker. It's a loss of 8, and it's 3rd down.
I love one of these delayed blitzes. He's just sitting in the middle linebacker spot. He's over in the corner. You'll watch him. It's just a delay. He's going to come from that side. And that's James Jackson. He just stands there, allows it, waits for it to develop, and he blitzes late, and he gets there.
Now on 3rd down, Bachmeier is flushed. He takes off and is wrapped up just past the 30, well shy after 11, and it's 4th down for Wake Forest.
Yeah, there's not much you can do there. You're that far backed up. That's an outstanding job by Virginia, just playing deep in their coverage. But it goes back to the previous play. Outstanding coverage by the corners and safeties, and James Jackson was able to get there on a delayed blitz. I love the delayed blitzes. As a linebacker, you're standing there, you're helping other guys out, but the delay allowed you to go get the quarterback.
Might be a false start here on Wake Forest.
False start, offense, number 30. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's on Tate Carney, backup running back. And the final 3 seconds tick off to close out the first quarter. So Virginia. Yeah, I mean, a ball that Trell Harris easily could have had 6 points on for Virginia. Ivan Mora's punt bounces out of bounds just inside the 40. Well, we mentioned this earlier for Wake Forest. They're without their third-team All-ACC defensive end from last year, Jasheen Davis, who's out week to week with an undisclosed injury.
Yeah, I think he was battling something all week long. And precautions. Both these teams were hit with injuries last season. And you're talking about a season of 12 games. As you get down into late October, early November, you want guys as healthy as possible. With this being their ACC opener, I think just more precautions.
And we were told he would be a game-time decision, but he didn't even come out for warm-ups pregame. On the ground, Xavier Brown stretches it left side for Virginia, and he picks up a couple yards, ran into Branson Combs.
Guys, I talked to Davis before the game, in between him doing different handshakes with all of his teammates, but asked him about BJ Williams, who was getting his first start, and he told me his advice to him was read your keys, trust your coaches, trust yourself. In BJ, you get knowledge, you get football IQ, and you get length.
Colandrea dives down for a yard, brings up third down. Yeah, BJ Williams, an experienced guy, redshirt junior, played about 20 snaps last week. He was going to get more, and same with Carrington Lee with no Davis tonight.
Yeah, the one thing about Jasheen Davis, he is a Sunday guy. We talk about NFL players, and this is where you need those guys, those rotational pieces to stand up here on third down.
Saw Tyler Walton, too. Virginia's 0 for 4 on third downs so far in this first half. Four-man rush. Colandrea tried to check it down. Picked off. Kevin Pointer. The thick pick. Tyler Walton got his paw on it. And the sixth-year senior Pointer with the pick.
Sometimes if you can't get to the quarterback, just get a hand up. I want you to watch. I think he's right here in the middle. I believe it's Tyler Walton. He just gets a hand up. Oh, no, he's on the outside. He came from the outside. It was a quick twist. I saw it come from the middle of the play. And a nice job by Tyler Walton. Get the hand up. Just knock it down. That's an outstanding job of the twist game. Getting in there. If you're not going to get to the quarterback, get a hand up. And Mr. Walton, that's how you do it. Help your brother out, right? You help him out. Get the pick. That's an outstanding job on a third down play from the Wake Forest defense.
Walton, who last week made his collegiate debut and steps in again with that Davis injury. Made the play for Pointer. And now sudden change, Wake Forest. In the red zone, Donavon Claiborne broke a tackle and takes it down to the 2.
Right down to the ground. I run it right again. And I think Bachmeier was saying the same thing. He looked at the sideline and was saying, run it again. They're getting big chunk yards in the run game.
Again, with the running back that Dave Clausen said is maybe the most dynamic they've had in their 11 years as a staff here in Winston-Salem. It is Claiborne again, and he's in for a touchdown. Second of the night for Donavon Claiborne. And Wake Forest adds to the lead.
It's all about POT, baby. Points off turnovers. Nice job by the offensive line. They collapse everybody down. Huge block by Keegan Trost. And able to allow Claiborne to go north and south, what he loves to do. That's a big touchdown. Getting those points off of a critical turnover from Virginia.
It takes just 2 plays and 38 more seconds for Wake Forest to cash in. We got a Virginia player still down on the field. And it looks like it might be Cam Robinson, a stud sophomore linebacker. And it is.
And he's the leader of this defense. The young sophomore linebacker, freshman All-American a year ago. I talked about him being the heart and soul of this defense. He really gets the guys going. So hopefully he'll be okay, but he's been battling some injuries as well. Hopefully he can get back up, return to this game.
You see 5 there. Almost non-contact.
Yeah, it looked to be non-contact. Coming off the edge, and those non-contact injuries, we see them a lot, often, and you hope that he's able to return.
Again, playing against his cousin today, the Wake running back, Donavon Claiborne, from Tappahannock, Virginia. Freshman All-American honors last year for the late blooming recruit Cam Robinson, who Florida State was trying to get involved with late. He stuck with it, went to Virginia. He had a very good rookie season last year. Boy, you hope for the best for him.
Absolutely. An active linebacker. I got an eye for him. Number 5 is all over the field. Hopefully he can return.
Yeah, it's your kind of guy. One of the brightest young stars the Cavaliers have. Matt Dennis adds the extra point. First career interception for Kevin Pointer. Set up another tut for Claiborne.
Yeah, Walton, help your brother out. Get a hand up. He gets the hand up. Pointer with the pick. And then Claiborne cashing out. The Deacs up 14.
The U.S. Open Men's Championship match is tomorrow at 2 Eastern over on ABC and ESPN Plus, with the American Taylor Fritz going up against world number 1 Yannick Sinner. Coverage starts at 1 Eastern. And hats off, by the way, to former Cavalier Emma Navarro. She's had a sensational season, went to the semis there in the women's draw, and the retiring Danielle Collins as well. A couple of great former Who's in Charlottesville. Caleb Carlson sends a low kick toward Chris Tyree. Picks it up at the 4 and emerges. Tyree's got a seam, and he crashes down to past the 30. Let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. In a huge matchup, Kevin, that Kirk, I know you're keeping tabs on.
Yeah, I mean, they took that personal, right? Nebraska took that personal last year. So I'm not surprised by the start of this game from the Nebraska Cornhuskers, up 14.
Insert MJ meme. Anthony Colandrea swings it out. This is Kobe Pace searching for anything, and will lose a yard. Branson Combs in on another stop, and this Virginia offense is trying to get in gear.
Yeah, just watching these drives, it's been punt, field goal, punt, interception. They're just trying to get positive plays going, convert some third downs. They've had some mistakes that coach talked about, but this is a huge drive right here. They got to keep pace with what Wake Forest is doing offensively.
They had 34 points in week 1 against Richmond. Colandrea takes a sideline shot too tall for Malachi Fields. And then we're also keeping tabs on the O-line as well, because they've been ravaged by injuries. Des Kitching said to us, it feels pretty thin. I'm going to have my toes, my pinkies crossed, because look at this. Ethan Sipe broke a bone in his foot in practice this week. He's got to have season-ending surgery. The Dartmouth transfers out for the year, and then Drake Metcalf re-aggravated an Achilles injury, and he's now lost for the season.
And Jack Whitmer, he lines up at left tackle. He was converted from tight end 18 months ago, so it's a work in progress.
3rd down and 11, sideline shot, and a nice catch by Trell Harris. Good response from him for a 1st down.
And that's good confidence from a quarterback, right? Remember earlier, Trell Harris dropped what could have been a touchdown, but the confidence to go back to Trell Harris on a huge 3rd down.
They go quickly, they get it out wide to Malachi Fields, lowering the shoulder, and it's back-to-back 1st downs for the Cavaliers.
And you see the rhythm now, right? Colandrea getting the guys lined up. They're going much quicker, much faster tempo than they did in the 1st quarter.
5th grab already for Malachi Fields as Des Kitchings turns up the pace. And it's Kobe Pace, left side, and still nothing doing for Kobe Pace. Branson Combs in on another stop for a loss.
Branson Combs and Dylan Hazen, both these guys are outstanding linebackers. Juniors, seniors, watch these linebackers and watch them flow. They just get to the football, they get downhill. That time, Branson Combs and Hazen, they fly. They get up to the line of scrimmage, and they just make plays.
Kobe Pace has had nothing doing. 3 carries for just 2 yards. 2nd down and long, and Colandrea across the middle, tight window. Trell Harris again. And the Kent State transfer takes it inside to the 29 after 16.
That's delivering a ball in traffic. There was about 5 Demon Deacons around that football, but a nice throw from Colandrea.
Who still goes up-tempo for the Cavaliers. Against a 5-man rush, Colandrea eludes. Colandrea races away from Combs and slides at the 18 with a 1st down.
Always competing. You got to bring at least 2 sets of eyeballs on him. Just makes the linebacker right there in the middle of the field. Dylan Hazen miss, and then he's off to the races deep into the secondary.
Brad Lambert, the Wake defensive coordinator, said to us the biggest thing with their offense is Colandrea's ability to run. That was focus number 1 for the Wake DC. Colandrea with time to the end zone, and it is caught by Tyler Neville. Touchdown, Virginia. The 6'4" tight end, the Harvard transfer, goes up the ladder in the end zone.
That's the first thing I thought about, Mike. You've done some basketball games here down at Wake Forest. This was nothing but a jump ball. And Tyler Neville jumped up and looking at all of that 6'4" frame, went up and grabbed that thing off the glass like a rebound. That's a nice job by Tyler Neville. The Harvard transfer going up, helping his quarterback out for the touchdown grab.
A 1,000-point scorer himself in high school basketball. And Tyler Neville's 2nd catch in a Virginia uniform is a dandy. And it's a 1-score game again. Tyler Neville spent 4 years at Harvard, graduated in late May with a 3.5 GPA, and he can get up as well. And Don Davenport, he's a young man who's been through a lot in his life.
Sure has. He was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma at 15. When his parents first told him, he said he cried for a little bit, then asked if he could still make it to basketball practice. He was competing for his starting job. Guys, he played hoops throughout chemo. His mom, Tara, get him up at 5 a.m. to be first in line for treatment so he could get done in time for hoops. He told me he needed that sense of normalcy that sports gave him. He was healthy enough to come back to football his junior year, said there was such a beauty in this game to him, the physicality, the mano-a-mano, beat your man. He never wanted to let it go again. Started the Tyler Neville Foundation to let kids know, guys, that there is more to their life than that God-forsaken drip. Such an inspiration.
Absolutely beautiful, Don. To the studio and Kevin Connors. All right, so the stud freshman has announced himself through 2 games already for number 2 Ohio State.
That's the wide receiver factory now, the Ohio State.
Sure is. Early second quarter here in Winston-Salem. It's Wake Forest by 7, and that's incomplete from Hank Bachmeier for Deuce Alexander, the redshirt freshman. ACC opener for both these teams. Virginia 3 wins each of the first 2 years under Tony Elliott. Wake Forest just 4 wins last year. Second out, Bachmeier pulls it up the seam, and he's got Donavon Greene in the plus territory. 31 yards working on Dre Walker.
Oh, we learned so much about this slow mesh offense. Don't say slow mesh here at Wake Forest. It's just their offense. And to be able to control the extra defender, that's what this offense does. And that's what Bachmeier did on that last play. It's the fake and allows that ball to get behind the defense.
And now Tate Carney with his first carry. Slipped the tackle, takes it to the 39. Yeah, they say, don't say slow mesh.
Great conversation with Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator. He said, look, Ruggiero, we just don't, it's not a slow mesh. It's just our offense. Only 18% of our offense comes from that particular slow mesh.
Carney up the middle with a big seam, and he barrels down to the 26-yard line.
One of the things about their offense is when these offensive linemen, they don't necessarily get off and maul guys. They try to get in front, but they double team and they get off the double teams. They help out and then they get off, and that's what allows some of these creases for these running backs to hit the hole.
13 yards for Carney. Bachmeier pulled it, slips away from trouble, and just gets rid of it. Being chased by Chico Bennett, the 6th-year senior, healthy this year.
Yeah, Bennett was not fooled. And then getting to the next play, just throwing it out of bounds, was Hank Bachmeier.
Talk about this Wake Forest offense. They really like the poise and the maturity from Bachmeier, who made the right move there. He's just 1 for his last 6. On second down, the pocket collapses, and down he goes. Jonas Sanker, senior star on this defense, with the sack, a loss of 5 and 3rd down.
Oh, I saw Dwight Freeney going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year with a patented spin move. I want you to watch Sanker. He's going to come in and watch the spin move that he puts on. He gets in, he blitzes late. It's the spin move to the inside that allows him to get the sack.
What's this sorcery? A 3rd Virginia sack after they had just 11 all of last season. Bachmeier on 3rd and long finds Greene. Dragged out of bounds near the 20. He'll be a few yards shy. Corey Thomas, the Akron transfer, in on the stop, and it's 4th down.
That's a nice stop there for that Virginia defense. They gave up a couple plays, but holding this Wake Forest offense to a field goal, that's a win. And the way they did it, Mike, you mentioned a couple of those sacks, getting pressure on the quarterback. That's an outstanding stop there by this defense, getting to the quarterback.
And one of the newcomers for Tony Elliott, who he added through the portal, who they're very excited about, in Corey Thomas. So from 38, Matt Dennis comes out, and Matt Dennis is good. After he struggled to finish last year, he's good on a couple here tonight. Virginia's down 10, and Anthony Colandrea and the Who's get it back when we return.
For a touchdown. Colandrea on the wheel route. He's got Greasy. He's gone. Pace off tackle. In for the touchdown.
Our Sunday night baseball matchup features the series finale between the D-backs, red hot, best team in baseball last few months, against the Astros and Justin Verlander. 7 Eastern on ESPN, Deportes, and radio. Coverage starts at 6 Eastern. With baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown.
I always love the cool nicknames. Go D-backs, go Stros. You know what I mean?
You a baseball guy?
Yeah, I mean, my Giants are having a tough time right now. Okay, the San Francisco, they got this. Yeah, I'm a little tough time right now. It's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay. It happens.
From just outside the goal line, this is Chris Tyree, the speedster. Notre Dame transfer, takes it to the 25. Wake Forest defense. What have you seen from it so far?
Well, they're answering the call of their head coach, Dave Clawson, last week. They didn't tackle very well. They didn't create turnovers. Guess what they're doing today? They're doing a little bit of all of that. They're keeping Colandrea in check. The defensive ends, Pointer, the linebackers feeling this is an outstanding job, and sometimes it takes two to tango. Walton with the bat, Pointer with the pick, and they end up getting a touchdown off of that play. So it's been the defense that has really sparked this Wake Forest lead in this first half.
First Wake D lineman pick since 2019. Xavier Brown gets a carry on the ground, takes it out for 4 yards. And what do you do if you're Virginia offensively? The passing game has worked, the running game hasn't. Do you still stick with it and try to get it going?
Well, how do you slow the pace down just a little bit? You want to go fast, but you don't want to get 3 and outs. You want to keep this offense on the field.
There's Brown off the left side, and he's got enough for a first down. So the junior from Lexington, Kentucky, is given some burst.
I like that, because coming into this drive, the running backs hadn't really carried the ball much. And so you can see it's an emphasis so far to hand that ball off.
They still go up tempo, and now off play action. Colandrea to a wide open man making the grab, and on the move down the sideline. Jaden Gibson hauls it in for 26.
Yeah, that is all off the play action. See how what happens? You run the ball effectively, and you give Colandrea the room that he needs to deliver the football. We looked at it all week long, Mike. We said, what do we see from Colandrea? Well, he's at his best when you change the launch angle. That time the play action gave him the time to throw, the accuracy needed for a first down.
Just the 6th career catch for Gibson. And now Brown again picks up 4 yards, ran into Branson Combs.
Sometimes running the football calms the offense. Maybe calms your quarterback down a little bit.
And Brown pushes the pile out to the 31. 4 more yards, and it's 3rd down and manageable.
And now you get to the manageable part. And if I'm Wake Forest on defense, where's number 8? Where's Malachi Fields? This is the best option for Virginia offensively. Keep an eye on the guy at the bottom of the screen, the receiver, Malachi Fields.
3rd down, Colandrea. Quick hitter to Sage Ennis, and he's short. Quincy Bryant in on the stop with Capone Blue. 4th down.
Capone Blue made this play. Now, Bryant may get the tackle, but this was all about this corner and attacking. You got to attack. When you're on the outside, go attack the play. Be the aggressor. Capone Blue makes this play. See, he just defeats the wide receiver and makes an easy play.
And now look at this on 4th down and 1. The Grady Bunch formation came out for Virginia.
Their first time out of the half.
But Tony Elliott will take the timeout before that tush-push-esque package for Virginia. Well, it's the ACC opener for both these teams, a series that dates back to 1889. And to find the last Virginia win, you got to go back to 2007. Riley Skinner, Simpson on the other side, making it a 1-point game, but Wake Forest drove down, and Sam Swank missed it from 47 with 2 seconds left.
Whoa, Swank with a shank. Oh, man. I love those flashbacks. But here we go. They go from the tush push to now Colandrea in shotgun. And now timeout Wake Forest.
Interesting. So first things first,
yes.
Do you like the decision to go for it here after you wanted Tony Elliott to earlier in this game?
Well, I think look at where the ball's at. It's on about the 29-yard line. So you're saying, you know what? Why not? Why not go for it here? You're kind of in no man's land, a little bit too long for a field goal. You can't punt the football. So I think this is the good decision and the right time right here. But putting the quarterback in shotgun gives me Colandrea a 2-way go. He can take off, sprint action to the right. Remember the play we talked about earlier. He can take off, find a receiver. If it's not there, be able to pull it, tuck it, and go get the tough yard.
And again, we saw Colandrea follow Grady Brosterhouse. That's why it's called the Grady Bunch. Coming out for that tush-push package. But again, after the Wake Forest timeout, it's Colandrea in the gun on 4th down and 1. Colandrea to the air, to the sideline, and caught by Trell Harris for a first down on 4th down.
That is a long throw, but an absolute gem of a throw where it needed to be. Trell Harris pulls it down for the first down. That's trust in receiver and quarterback.
How about that call? Fresh set of downs, Colandrea. Downfield, Neville again. His 2nd touchdown. From 24 yards out, it's a 1-score game. One
of the hardest plays to defend is up the seam Saturday. up the seam. That's the tight end. All eyes are on Malachi Fields, the receivers. No one's got their eye on Tyler Neville, who just goes right through the seam. That linebacker is supposed to have that void, and you can see the linebackers looking back. Eldrick Robertson, hey, that's not my guy. Neville gets behind him for the touchdown.
Back in the first quarter, Anthony Colandrea wanted Tony Elliott and Virginia to go for it on 4th down and goal from in close. You could see it when he came to the sideline. They keep it in his hands and on his right arm this time, picks it up and then finds Neville for a second touch.
That was trust. You got to trust your young sophomore quarterback. And he was able to trust and believe. And how did this get started? It got started with the run game. They ran the ball effectively to start this drive. The play action got going. And then you get down in here on a 4th down, you convert. Yeah, you point over to the coach. Appreciate it. That's more of a, coach, I got you. That's that point. You look to the sideline saying, coach, thank you for believing in me. I got you. And Neville with number 2 on the day.
And how about Tyler Neville stepping up? Tony Elliott went to grab him a full year ago because in the Ivy League you can't have that 5th year, so they knew they were going to want Tyler Neville. And Tony Elliott went to Cambridge, went right into the football offices, met with the head coach, the longtime head coach there at Harvard, Tim Murphy, who said, come on in, I'll tell you all about Tyler Neville. What a performance he's had here in this first half in his ACC league play debut. Donavon Claiborne with some wiggle, breaks a tackle and gets swung down at the 29-yard line.
What's the answer? What's the answer? Colandrea leads his team on a drive. And now you're saying, Hank Bachmeier, hey, it's your turn. What can you do, Hank Bachmeier? So interested to see how this offense responds to that Virginia score.
And a first half filled with plenty of offense for Dave Clawson, who looks things over as Hank Bachmeier steps back in the gun. It's a give to Donavon Claiborne, and he gets stacked up immediately by James Jackson after a yard. Guy's going to have to do more while we still don't have Cam Robinson out there for Virginia.
Yeah, I had a coach would always say sometimes you got to wear the big sombrero, meaning wear the big hat. That means you got more duties on your plate, and that's what you mentioned with James Jackson. A lot more on his shoulders with Cam Robinson out with injury.
And you see how Bachmeier's fared through the air in this first half. Cold recently. Bachmeier tucks it, takes off, and Hank Bachmeier goes across the 45, met by Corey Thomas after 16 with his legs.
I love that his eyes stayed down the field, though, the entire time. He's trying to find an open guy. He goes to the progressions and realizes, wait, there's nobody in the middle of the field. Takes off, put 2 hands on the football, positive yards by Bachmeier.
A 25-year-old who's now at his 3rd school. Approaching 3 minutes to go until halftime. From the 46, Bachmeier on a comeback pattern, and he's got his veteran wideout Taylor Morin to the plus 40, 14 yards.
I mean, if you're going to play 15 yards off the receiver, that's just stealing. Morin just goes up, turns around at 10 yards, and the ball's already out of Bachmeier's hands.
6th-year senior is 7th all-time at Wake Forest in receptions. A tick under 3 to go in the first half. Claiborne up the middle, pushes the pile for 3 yards.
As we approach the 2-minute timeout, remember that the 2-for-1 situation, and I call it 2-for-1 because Wake Forest wants to drain this clock. They also get the ball to start the second half, so you can get a score here and then get the opening kickoff in the second half. So little basketball terminology with the 2-for-1 here, Mike.
There you go.
See, you see me.
And speaking of terminology, in the college game through 2 weeks, we have learned it is the 2-minute timeout. Don't you dare say warning, Kirk Morrison.
2-minute timeout as of now.
It's time for you to pull out your phones and scan the QR code on the video board for a chance to win a $250 Live Nation gift card from our friends at Pepsi. Just scan to enter and scratch the digital ticket. It's that easy to play. Wake Forest football is better with Pepsi. Fans, it's time for the Deacon Shop item of the game. The Demon Deacon is making his way through the stands to find tonight's lucky winner. Congrats to our winner. They are taking home a gold Wake Forest Nike hat, courtesy of the Deacon Shop. You can take this hat home tonight too by visiting the Deacon Shop locations on the concourse or by scanning the code on the video board.
If you want to do something.
Oh, with all right, Kevin. Yeah, Kyle McCord was jawing at Georgia Tech in the Dome today. 2 minutes to go until halftime here. Wake with the football on second down, and the throw is complete by Bachmeier to Donavon Greene for 7, and appears to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, tightening down that defense. Virginia, they didn't play that cover 2. They're playing a little more man-to-man. See, they're trying to get a little more pressure on Bachmeier.
Who you saw was trying to make sure he could hear the coach-to-player communication. Again, one player on the field per team at a time, and it shuts off when the play clock's at 15 seconds or at the snap, whichever comes first. So it's off right now as Bachmeier takes it, pulls it, sideline incomplete. Flung it toward Donavon Greene with Jam Jackson in coverage.
That's a nice matchup over there. Jam Jackson and Donavon Greene, both of them. That's competing over there on the outside. Jackson got a hand in there late, but I love these matchups on the outside. This is a much improved secondary for Virginia. They went to the portal to go grab some guys like Jackson, Kemp and Shine on the other side. Corey Thomas, you mentioned earlier, this is a different secondary for Virginia.
Bachmeier against pressure, uncorks one for Morin, and too strong. Third down.
I think Bachmeier felt James Jackson. Felt him. You know what I mean? Sometimes you may not get there, you may not get the sack, but if you breathe real hard on the quarterback, he feels that, and made Bachmeier have to throw it a little earlier than he may have wanted to. It's the blitz on the outside. Jackson's just right there, and just that action felt like Bachmeier had to get rid of the football a little quickly.
And now you're right on the edge of field goal range. There's a $1:20 left. Virginia's got 2 timeouts. And on third down, Bachmeier steps up and down he goes. Virginia collapses on him with Jason Hammond and Cam Butler. It's 4th down and a timeout used by Virginia with 1:13 to go for Tony Elliott's team.
Tony Elliott's team having a sack party, right? That's 4 today. And this is it's a coverage sack. You know what I mean? This is one of those where he's looking for somebody to throw the football. And look, I love what Virginia's doing defensively. They're basically saying, you know what? We're going to pressure. We're going to bring blitzes. Our corners are going to have to hold up. So I love the way that Virginia right now is playing this game defensively. They're keeping their offense in it as they get through this first half.
Kirk and Mike with you upstairs. Don Davenport down on the field. And you came into this talking about how important it is for either team here in the ACC to start 2-0 and start with a win in league play.
Well, they're looking at Syracuse, right? They're looking at all these teams today that went out and had victories. We know Miami in the ACC, but they want to make a name for themselves as well. And I think today starts one of those big moments for both these programs. Virginia, are you for real? Wake Forest, are you for real?
Well, right now it would be a 47-yard field goal. Matt Dennis's career long is 46. So on 4th and 10, Wake Forest keeps the offense out there. Hank Bachmeier to the air, down the sideline, and dropped by Greene, but a flag flies. Jam Jackson was in coverage and might have drawn the pass interference call.
Yeah, this looks like it could probably go both ways.
Offense, number 11. Penalty is declined. 1st down, Virginia.
Great call by you. He drew it.
Well, because how did he get that much separation? They were running down the field shoulder to shoulder, and then all of a sudden that separation for Donavon Greene, that's a nice job by that official, seeing the extension of the arm by Greene to push off to create that space needed for a catch. I'm like, they're shoulder to shoulder, Mike. Now when the ball got there, how did they create that much space? Well, that's a good job by the officials seeing that. That's a turnover on downs.
And you mentioned the transfers added in the secondary. Jam Jackson from the FCS level, Robert Morris, has packed on some weight, and he has stepped up here late in the 2nd quarter. Now a minute plus to work with, and this is a screen to Kobe Pace, who takes it out of bounds, streaking to the 37, and Anthony Colandrea is trying to give Virginia, well, maybe its first lead of the game.
Yeah, we were just talking about it, me and you, Mike, about the middle 8. That's what Coach Tony Elliott preaches. It's the final 4 minutes of the 2nd quarter and the first 4 minutes of the 3rd quarter. How do you respond? How do you win those middle 8? Right now, Virginia off to a good start.
Trell Harris maintained his footing and takes it to the 46. Jamari Glasgow in coverage.
This is a big drive for Virginia because I mentioned earlier, Wake Forest gets the ball to start the 2nd half. So to get a score here, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, is positive points going into half.
Clock restarts, 50 seconds to go. Colandrea downfield for Harris. Incomplete. Glasgow in coverage, and it breaks up a string of 10 straight completions for Anthony Colandrea.
Yeah, nice job by Glasgow. He used that extra defender, the 12th defender there. That's the sideline. So sometimes you don't have to run step for step. Utilize the outside guy, which is the defender, which is, I call it, the sideline man.
Trell Harris grimaces as he comes off the field. The Kent State transfer and wide receiver to the sideline for Tony Elliott's group. 46 seconds to work with on 2nd down against a 4-man rush. In the soft spot, it's Tyler Neville, dragging defenders down toward the 38, and the late flag comes in as well after 16 yards.
I wonder where that flag came. I saw it late. And to add 15 yards on this would be crucial. But it looks like it may be on Virginia.
It came in right at the end of the play and at the end of the run, where Neville ended up at the 38-yard line.
I'm trying not to guess here, but watching these Virginia players retreat.
During the run, personal foul, illegal blindside block, offense number 8. 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Malachi Fields, the stud wide receiver, and that is costly the other way. 15 back for Virginia.
Yeah. And that's against the rules. You cannot block a player who is in action but cannot defend himself. That's what the officials are always going to see. And that's just an undisciplined play by Malachi Fields. It just wasn't needed.
So just shy of midfield from the 47 for Anthony Colandrea. Another screen. Kobe Pace put his foot in the ground and couldn't escape. Ransom Combs, and it's just a yard. One timeout left. Clock rolls for Virginia. A lot of time coming off the clock here.
Yeah, I was wondering why coach wouldn't call the timeout.
On third down, Colandrea toward the sideline, too tall for Fields. Jamari Glasker breaks it up, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, I would love to see coach call a timeout there. Just regroup the guys. You had a negative play, and you're saying, hey, look, we got one play. All right, if we get the first down, we can kill the clock, but give us an opportunity to score points. Maybe not a touchdown, but could have been a field goal opportunity there. They rushed that one late, and a nice job of defending for Wake Forest gets them off the field.
Taylor Morin back deep with 8 seconds to go until halftime, ready to get it from Sparks. It's blocked. Wake Forest falls on it. Deuce Alexander blocked the punt. Horatio Fields comes up with it with 2 seconds to go until halftime.
It's all about the get off, Mike. Deuce on the outside, he gets off unblocked. If you're not going to block me, you're going to get. This is what happens. That's an easy play for the sophomore. It just runs untouched for the block. And now gives one more play for Wake Forest.
And how about that? It sets up Wake Forest from the 39, so it's out of Matt Dennis's field goal range. Dave Clawson has a couple of timeouts, so he'll use one of them here.
Right.
And just like that, they at least get a shot at some more points.
Oh, man, this is. It's the conference opener for both teams. But look at this. I think it's, like I said, a wide open conference. SMU, they entered the chat this year. Cal with a huge win over Auburn right before this game. This is going to be a fun ACC this year with all of the new teams coming in. But look at the team at the bottom. A lot of people thought this was going to be the champion of the ACC. And Florida State 0-2 to start conference play.
And two teams here who we started this night talking about just trying to climb up.
Correct.
Combined for just 7 wins last year, but this is big. Dave Clawson in particular, they're looking to get back to who they were for the 7 straight years of going to bowl games before last year.
They were always a tough out. And then next thing you know, you will look up and they're fighting for a conference championship game, playing in a big bowl game. And here's the timeout. Virginia uses it on the defensive side. Would have loved for them to use it on the offensive side.
In basketball parlance, to go back to what you were saying, that's a use it or lose it timeout.
Correct. You can't take it to the second half.
For Tony Elliott. All right, some storylines. You said SMU's here, Cal, Stanford joining as well. 7 different teams the last 4 seasons have been to the ACC championship game.
Yeah, the rivalries are protected. 7 different teams made ACC championship over the last 4 seasons. A lot of transfer quarterbacks. I know Cam Ward has definitely put not just the ACC, but I think college football on notice, the way that he performed last week versus Florida. And he's in a matchup right now with Florida A&M. Like, again, I think it's going to be a fun ACC, Mike.
All right, so 4 seconds to work with from the 39 for Hank Bachmeier and Wake Forest ahead of halftime. Set up a screen. It's Taylor Morin. He's got a lane, a block from Greene. Morin downfield, and it gets dragged down inside the 15. So it sends us to halftime. The scenes. 3-point margin for Wake Forest, who will get the football first against Virginia's defense. And for a health update there, we go down to Don.
Yeah, Mike, Cam Robinson went into the locker room in the first half, got x-rays on his knee. I just talked to Coach Elliott. He said, we let him warm up. They put a knee brace on that knee. They're going to see if he wants to go ahead and give it a go in this second half. So we'll keep an eye on that. But he also said he was really happy with how everybody stepped up their game without Cam Robinson in that first half. His message to his team, guys, this is a one-possession game. This is exactly where we wanted it. Don't press. I don't need any of you to be heroes.
Well, so good to see, Don, that he's even testing it out And boy, that would be a lift if he's able to come back and return. Claiborne on the ground on the first play of the second half for Wake Forest for 7 yards.
Yeah, and if I'm Wake, I'm doing what that first play just showed you, right? Run the ball at those linebackers. Trey McDonald, 16. He's in for Cam Robinson. I'm running right at those linebackers to see if they can hold up.
Claiborne ran for 2 touchdowns in the first half. Second time in his career with 2 scores in a game. Screen pass to the 6th-year senior Taylor Morin. And well defended. Kempton Shine and Jonas Sanker in on the stop.
Yes, nice job. Little communication. Shine was on the outside, forced the ball back in. Good team defensive tackle, forcing the 3rd and short.
Dave Clausen and his group since 2019, they're 20-0 when leading at halftime at home. You see 1 for 6 on 3rd downs in the first half. They move the 2 tight ends. And motion Fields. Claiborne up the middle in a fight for space, gets pushed toward the 35, and it's going to be close.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Number 16, Trey McDonald, the linebacker in for Cam Robinson, had the initial hit just to slow the feet of the running back, but I think just enough for the first down for Wake Forest. 16 right in the middle, gets in there, almost had Claiborne, but just the stop and get back in and lean forward. Good job by the running back.
A junior from Chattanooga, Tennessee, who Tony Elliott said in camp, he looks more comfortable in the system. He did play 24 snaps last week. So fresh set of downs. Bachmeier pulls it across the middle. Donavon Greene again into plus territory. And this is the Donavon Greene we've seen throughout his career.
Yeah, you saw it last week. He had the big touchdown on the screenplay, and he was able to get the ball and go make plays. But it's the slow mesh that allows this play to develop. It's all a timing mechanism. And Bachmeier is starting to learn it, starting to get it.
We'll check on the injured Cavalier when we come back. 2 minutes into the second half. check out today's game track. It is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse.
To me, I'm looking at that 40 yards rushing. Last week, Kobe Pace really got things going for the Virginia Cavaliers in a rushing game, and not so much today. And sort of balanced when you think about Wake Forest. They ran the ball well at times, but look at third down. Both defenses doing a terrific job of getting off the field on third down. That may be the story of this second half of who can convert on third.
Corey Thomas, by the way, went off the field under his own power, and Donavon Claiborne takes it on the ground on a first down carry. So Thomas went off the field. Good to see him go off on his own. Meanwhile, we saw during the break Cam Robinson, the linebacker that Don had the update on, he again was testing out, running on the sideline, apparently his right knee. It's a second down give to Claiborne, third down and 1.
Mike, he's headed back to the locker room now, so it looks like as of right now, that is a no-go for Cam Robinson. I thought he looked okay testing it out. He was jumping on that right knee, had some serious in-depth conversations with a couple of Virginia athletic trainers, and then just shook his head, rolled his eyes, and is now headed back into the locker room.
All right, so we'll watch that. Third down and 1. Bachmeier on a sneak from under center, very close to the sticks. Ball came out toward the end, but Hank Bachmeier first gets marked down before that, and it appears to be fourth down.
Yeah, Tony Elliott on the far side. He's right on the pylon, and he's coming in saying, no, 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 no. That's a nice job by the defense of Virginia building a wall. Bachmeier didn't look comfortable going under center there, trying to do the quarterback sneak. And here's a team that usually stays in shotgun, and now a 4th and 1.
Tony Elliott's trying to fire up his sideline. Can Virginia get a stand on fourth down? Claiborne up the middle for a fresh set of downs. Donavon Claiborne has been big for Wake Forest. Virginia native. Last week went for a $135 in the opener for Wake. Hank Bachmeier to the air. Surveying, fires to the sideline and too tall for Horatio Fields. There is a penalty flag down back near where Bachmeier released it.
Personal foul, illegal hands to the face, defense number 55. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Anthony Britton, the sophomore, that's a huge penalty because they got the ball with no gain. I mean, it was just an incomplete pass, and so it's like you 1 step or 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That hand is, it's hand fighting, but you put that hand up near the face, that's going to be called every single time.
And remember, Tony Elliott in the first half, talking with Donnie, was frustrated by some self-inflicted wounds. This keeps Wake Forest marching into the red zone, and Bachmeier goes down. Antonio Clary, and that's the 4th sack for Virginia.
Yeah, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Yeah, what it is 4. It could have been 5 earlier. Nice job by Clary. He's going to come from the outside over here and just find his way right in there. It's a late blitz, but he finds a way to get in and make the sack.
Safety's back after missing all of last year due to injury. Second down, Bachmeier whips one in there to Donavon Greene again. Takes it to the 15, 5 yards on the 6th grab for Donnie Greene. So third down here for Hank Bachmeier and Wake Forest on the move.
We haven't called the tight end Harry Lodge's name since earlier.
He's on the left side of the formation. Bachmeier to Morin, lost his footing, and it looks like he is short. So it's 4th down and less than a yard for Wake Forest.
And they're going right back on the football. They're going right for it. 4th down and 1. We're in short. Here comes the big boys from the defense for Virginia. Where Wake Forest converted on their earlier 4th down. See what they decide to do here. They've kept it on the ground for these 4th downs. As Coach Clausen asks his quarterback to put it in the air.
It's back to 12 personnel, 2 tight ends for Wake Forest. They motion them to the right side on 4th down. Claiborne again up the middle. Claiborne's been the answer on these couple of fourth down conversions, and it'll be the 13th play of the drive upcoming.
And it was the triangle, right? Both guards in the center. Those guys got great push up front, and they moved that line of scrimmage and allowed Claiborne to get the yards needed for a first down.
This march continues for Wake Forest. Midway through the third quarter. Claiborne trying to wiggle through, runs right into the arms of Cam Butler, the 7th-year senior defensive end.
This is the opening drive of the second half. Just remember that. So they've had the ball, they've controlled this football all the way down the field. They were inside the 5-yard line. If I'm Coach Clausen, I'm not putting the ball in the air. Right now, I'm getting some nice yards on the ground, continue to keep winning the line of scrimmage, force these linebackers of Virginia and safeties to have to come up and make a play in the hole.
See the day for Claiborne. 14th play of the drive. Bachmeier pulls it, slips it out to Greene, reaches, touchdown! Donavon Greene adds to the Wake Forest lead. Dick Clausen said this week their offensive skill guys got to be stars for him this year.
Well, look at the play call there. They're running the ball effectively, right? They faked the handoff, and I believe every Virginia Cavalier tried to tackle the running back. That's why Greene was so wide open. That's a good throw by the quarterback with the angle, and Greene doing the rest of the work to the pylon for the touchdown.
Matt Dennis adds the extra point. Hank Bachmeier's first touchdown pass of the night is to the 6th-year senior, Donavon Greene, and the lead is 10 for the Deacs.
It's a nice job by Bachmeier coming over to Winston-Salem saying, hey, it's a lifestyle, baby, a lifestyle.
It's one of the best college football traditions. Leading the Wake Forest football team out onto the field in style. The real question, does a mascot need a special license? Okay, this thing is sweet. Tell me about it.
Yep, it's a 2005 Fat Boy, and it's got a fresh coat of paint.
I think I'm gonna try this thing out. of the best college football traditions around. The Demon Deacons leading the Wake Forest football team out onto the field in style. But the real question, does a mascot need a special license? Okay, this thing is sweet. Tell me about it.
Yep, it's a 2005 Fat Boy, and it's got a fresh coat of paint.
I think I'm gonna try this thing out.
The old 2005 Fat Boy. And Don Davenport not allowed. You can't open the gates unless you've done something here at Wake, right?
Yeah, it's for the royalty here at Wake Forest.
Which Don is nationally, yeah, but understandable, maybe not here on the Wake campus. Wake Forest by 10. Don, what'd you learn doing that?
Absolutely denied. You know, there are standards here at Wake. I get it. You can't deviate from those. No, it was really cool, though, guys. This tradition actually started back in 2008. And you're right, it celebrates special individuals who've made contributions to the school, to the community, and then they allow them to ride on the back. So, I mean, I can't hang with like Muggsy Bogues and Arnold Palmer and Webb Simpson and these kind of guys, right?
Yeah. You weren't on The Bachelor either, like Matt James, former Wake player here, at least as far as I know. Virginia gets it back, and Anthony Colandrea keeps it, runs right side, and there is nothing there. And in on the stop, B.J. Williams. Well, pretty cool to see who rode in today. This is Dr. Thompson. And this is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and this is the cancer awareness, specifically pediatric cancer awareness game for Wake Forest. This is Xavier Brown on the ground out past the 30. Picks up 7 yards, third down and short. Can't think of a better cause than that for someone to ride aboard the motorcycle and open the gates.
Yeah, it's a huge day here at Wake Forest for that. Everybody's involved. This is a great community. And the way the fan turnout has been, there's the ribbon over there on the hill. It's been a great turnout. The fan base is pumped up. I feel like it's going to be a change here in Wake Forest in 2024.
Third down. Anthony Colandrea, quick hitter. Xavier Brown appears to have enough for a first down, slipping out of the backfield against Branson Combs.
Yeah, he got just enough. Barely got the 10 yards, but that was a terrific throw from the quarterback, and Brown being able to hold on.
He got 8 carries last week. They're leaning on him here. Colandrea, right side, has it complete. Malachi Fields out toward midfield, working on Capone Blue, and Fields continues to feast.
Yeah, that's the best player on the field for both teams. He is a true Sunday guy. Sometimes you may have to just force feed the football to Malachi Fields.
Colandrea zips one sideline, intercepted. Jamari Glasker, the pick for the Deacs.
You know, Mike, I just talked about force feeding the ball to Malachi Fields, but I thought Colandrea got a little greedy here. He tried to throw the ball over Glasker's head in the cover 2, but he just drifts and gets underneath it. That's a terrific job by Glasker. You got to pay the man in order to beat a man.
Just scan Twitter and scratch the digital ticket. It's that easy to play.
Back here at Wake Forest, 2 players I want you to look at. That's Devon Patterson, and this right here is Jamari Glasker. They're playing cover 2. No one from Virginia goes to the flat to threaten Jamari Glasker. So what does he do? He drifts underneath the wide receiver and makes a terrific interception. That is how you play cover 2 between the corner and the safety.
Take Carney on the ground for a couple yards. Second time Colandrea has been picked. And remember the quote his offensive coordinator Des Kitchings had. He's going to make the oh wow plays. We have to eliminate the oh crap play.
Yeah, that was one of those plays where you wish you had back. There was nobody threatening the flat, so both players were able to double team on the outside.
And now Hank Bachmeier steps up, made Cam Butler miss, and Bachmeier's got a first down. Got tossed down by James Jackson. And Bachmeier comes up grimacing.
And this is where you miss Cam Robinson, right? He's then the guy in the middle that you would hope that makes those plays when the quarterback breaks the line of scrimmage.
On first down, it's a screen, and this is Deuce Alexander, redshirt freshman, who they are very high on. Takes it out for 4 yards.
Yeah, he's already blocked a punt earlier today, so he's got involved that way. But I love the way they spread the football around between Alexander, Greene, Fields, Morin. They've got some skilled position players, and Bachmeier is able to hit all of them, get them all involved.
Bachmeier. Quick hitter right side, and it's Donavon Greene again, and it's good for a first down.
Yeah, we had the All-State good hands. And that was right there. You saw it by Greene. He had the All-State strong hands. That ball's thrown to the outside. It's a great strong catch. That's all hands. That's nothing have to do with the body. Just 2 hands gripping that football on the outside for the first down.
He's been targeted 11 times and has 8 grabs for 89 yards and a touchdown. Trouble with the snap for Bachmeier. Picks it up, fires, and it's Deuce Alexander again. Across the 50 to the 46. Hey, next Saturday, SEC on ABC, a college football tripleheader. LSU, South Carolina at noon. A&M, Florida in the Swamp. And then at 7:30, #1 Georgia against Kentucky. Corey Thomas, for a second time in this second half, is slow to get up for Tony Elliott's Virginia team. 6th-year senior transfer from Akron who plays the spur position and is very versatile at 6'4", 221 pounds.
Yeah, he can do a little bit of everything. They were so, excited to get him on to this football team because he can play corner, he can play safety, he can play free. He can also blitz off the edge, get into the box, and stop the run. He is an all-everything player that has really come into this program and really been a leader for this football team.
Well, unfortunately, he heads off to the tent, so you're dealing with injuries to 2 of the real key pieces on this Who's defense. Meantime, Hank Bachmeier and Wake Forest up by 10. Final 4 minutes of the 3rd quarter with 2nd down and 3. Bachmeier directing traffic with his center, Luke Petitbon. Bachmeier pulls it, steps up, downfield Alexander. On the move inside the 15, working on the safety, Antonio Clary for 33.
Yeah, and Clary's down now at the end of that play. It's the play action. Just watch everybody look at the quarterback and the running back. That's what the mesh does. It's control the defenders near the line of scrimmage, and it creates the timing to allow the route to develop. And you just talked about Mr. Alexander, Deuce Alexander, the redshirt freshman, making another play.
Well, you talked about the slow mesh, and Dave Clawson has said last year it was only 18% of our offense. And you mentioned this in the first half. We started talking with offensive coordinator Warren Ruggiero about this, and he says, look, our guys don't get credit for all the things our players have done. He said from 17 to 22, we were the only ACC team getting 30+ points per game every season. He said people just want to boil it down to 2 words, slow mesh, but he thinks it's a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, it's a whole lot more than that. But the thing is, it's so effective and it works. And especially when you saw a couple of years ago, Sam Hartman really take this offense to new heights. And everybody wants to blame it on, hey, that's what it is, that's what it is. They want to get back to that. And that's what Hank Bachmeier has been able to do. Give you shades of what Sam Hartman brought you a couple weeks ago. Now just watch the linebackers. See all the linebackers, they're just sitting there waiting. Safeties, everybody's up near the line of scrimmage, and that creates the window, the opportunity to allow the route to develop. That's a tough cover for any cornerback on Deuce Alexander.
They call them sights, not RPOs, sights. They were doing it, Warren Ruggiero said to us even before there was anything called RPOs. Now they swing it out to Moore, and he throws it. Oh, and a dangerous one. Nearly got intercepted. Malcolm Greene was all over Morin on the wide receiver pass.
Just do your job. Malcolm Greene had Morin in coverage, and he went like a heat-seeking missile. And that forced Morin to have to get rid of the football earlier than he wanted to. It was wide open for Greene in the back of the end zone, but a nice job just doing your job. Number 8, Malcolm Greene.
Second down from the 12. Tate Carney barrels forward, and he takes it to the 8-yard line. The redshirt sophomore, whose brother Cade was a 2-time captain here at Wake and a 1,000-yard rusher in 2018. Third down.
Virginia's defense has to hold them to a field goal. A touchdown now really blows this game wide open. It's forcing Colandrea. They have to just throw the ball. They're going to have to vacate the run. This is a huge third down right here for this Virginia defense.
Wake needs 6. Hank Bachmeier stands in, incomplete. Not on the same page exactly with Deuce Alexander, and it's 4th down.
Well, Virginia switched it up. They've been playing a little man-to-man coverage and blitzing. This time they went zone. They dropped extra players. And so Bachmeier thought he was going to get man-to-man, and yet he had about 3 extra defenders over there hanging around in the end zone.
First incompletion for Hank Bachmeier in the second half. He had been 9 for 9, so Dave Clausen and Wake has to settle for 3. Matt Dennis comes out from 26 yards. And he's good. The lead is 13. Well, there's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. A lot to be happy about, because all season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. Yeah, a lot to like if you're a Wake Forest fan here at a Legacy Stadium. No doubt last resort was big time last night on a football weekend for the second game of the season. And putters, all the local spots here in Winston-Salem.
Absolutely. It's been a fun stay here so far. The weather's been great. The people have been great. I always love the gift bag, so thank you, Wake.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Oh, yeah. Some airplane snacks, I call them. I appreciate the gesture.
And the lead's up to 13. And remember, 2 interceptions for Anthony Colandrea in his now 7 starts. Virginia 0-5 when he's got at least 1 interception. So how does he respond? The always confident sophomore who won the job against Tony Muskett in camp. Tyler Black will get it away for Wake Forest. And Black keeps one away from Chris Tyree. Let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio for an update. Wow, so tight against the Bulls, Kevin, just like it was last year.
Sure was.
In that matchup.
Remember, they couldn't figure out who the quarterback was going to be. Remember, Milroe was going out, and they were trying to find who's going to be the guy. Something about that USF team. Alex Skolish, the head coach over there, doing a good job with the Bulls.
Yeah, full circle for Jalen Milroe. 4 yards there on the screen to Chris Tyree, the Notre Dame transfer, who Virginia is trying to get going. And now pre-snap movement on the right side of the offensive line. And with Tyler Walton on the D-line for Wake Forest.
Full start, offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, first down.
They get the senior right guard Ty Furnish from Woodstock, Georgia, a third-year starter, and that'll back up Virginia. And again, some self-inflicted wounds have popped up throughout this night for the Cavaliers.
Well, I just think that they were playing their best football when they were running the ball and they were 50-50. Now they continue to run the ball.
Chris Tyree again, and not much space for Tyree, known for his speed. Evan Slocum was there for Wake, and it's third down.
So on this drive, you're trying to find ways to get points. You need to keep this game close. And I mentioned it earlier, Malachi Fields, that's my guy. If I have to just hand it off to him at times, but you got to get the football to number 8. He's lined up at the top.
He's got 6 for 111 in this game. Colandrea on third down, steps up, escapes and goes down. Kevin Pointer wraps up Colandrea, and it's fourth down.
Pointer's having himself a day. He's got an interception. He's got a sack earlier, and now he gets another big play. He's just playing hustle, effort, hustle, effort. That's an effort sack. That's a willing defender trying to find a way to get to the quarterback. Doesn't stop till the whistle's blown. That's the reason why he's got that C on his chest. It's one of those captains making a play.
Last year, honorable mention, all ACC. Boy, low snap for Daniel Sparks to handle that. But it takes a Virginia hop all the way inside the 30 into Wake Forest territory in the final half minute of the third. Hey, next Saturday, Virginia is part of our ACC Network primetime matchup as they take on Maryland. The Terps at 8 Eastern. ACC Network will have a heavy presence in Charlottesville all day. It starts with ACC Huddle's pregame show at 11 a.m. Eastern. Maryland thumped UConn in week 1, but at quarterback, it's life after Talia Tungavailoa for the Terps. In the ever-changing world of where did the quarterbacks end up?
the game of musical chairs.
You know it. Claiborne hopped around. Bachmeier takes the carry up ahead to the 31, gets 4 yards.
Is that a new play in the playbook?
Yeah, I guess
I've never seen that before. I know they do some hopping and walking in the backfield. They do some hops early. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that's the wraparound handoff.
And I think that's what they're communicating to each other right there.
They're barking at each other. In the 12-team era of the playoff. Start the fourth quarter with a run on the ground for Donavon Claiborne. Jonas Sanker makes the stop after 3 yards, and it's third down for Wake Forest.
Yeah, I think he's still on the ground, too. He took a shot there trying to tackle both the quarterback and the running back. He just blitzed off the edge and didn't care who had the ball. And I think he got the worst of it.
So 3 of the best players on Virginia's defense. You got Sanker here, a third-year starter who was first-team All-ACC last year.
Yeah, he just went in and he literally tried to tackle Bachmeier and Claiborne and still went out and made the play on Claiborne. So you mentioned it, they're depleted defensively. Cam Robinson's already out. There he is, their All-American linebacker, sophomore. But Sanker able to get up on his own foot, on his own power.
And Corey Thomas, the 6th-year senior, plays that spur position. DB linebacker nickel type hybrid. And oh yeah, Antonio Clary, who you see there with the Theragun. Well, he got banged up in this half as well, down near the goal line. So 4 guys, 4 of the best on the defense for Virginia. Third down. Hank Bachmeier, quick release, and he's got a first down. Taylor Morin, the steady slot man, moves the sticks.
Nice route distribution. You had 3 guys over there in the stack. The tight end Lodge clears it out. Morin gets right behind there, sneaks right in there. Right? We just talked about Morin. He's only 5'11", 185, but see how the route distribution stops, turns around. That ball's already out of Bachmeier's hands for the first down.
Devon Claiborne jets to the right side, and Jonas Sanker stands him up. You know, you look at this offense and what they've done, more than 400 yards of total offense, and Hank Bachmeier's the guy. Thought it was so interesting talking with Dave Clausen. He said we weren't the highest bidder for Hank Bachmeier. He said there was a school that offered Hank 5 times as much as Wake Forest did.
Yeah, I just think that his journey has brought him to Wake Forest. He believes in Coach Clausen and playing in the Power 4.
Walker Merrill couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
You know, you really think about it, Bachmeier, the expectations put on him at Boise State. You start as a freshman, everybody expects you to be Kellen Moore. And he's like, look, I'm not Kellen Moore. He goes to Louisiana Tech and goes there and finds himself in a great position to bring Wake Forest back to a program, back to another winning season.
Here he is on 3rd down. Bachmeier rolls to his left, he directs, and it's incomplete. Intended for Morin. 4th down.
I like the location. That's a nice play. You know, he rolls out, puts the ball on the outside. But that's a good play also by the defense, forcing the errant throw. Bachmeier just sits back and tries to look downfield, keeps his eyes downfield. I think Morin makes that catch probably 9 times out of 10.
The ball delivered by Hank Bachmeier. Ivan Moore to get it away. And he sends a booming punt toward the 20. Chris Tyree getting a chance again on punt return. And he sets up Virginia just past the 30. So Virginia's got the football, plenty of time. Down by 13 against Bachmeier and the Deacs. All right, Kevin, Nico Iamaleava leading the Vols. And here in Winston-Salem, Anthony Colandrea leading the Cavaliers. Takes off with his legs, gets to the 40, met by Capone Blue. And Kirk, what do you need to see from the Cavaliers offensively?
Just positive plays. Because they've had positive plays within a penalty, right? A false start or an incompletion right after. Positive plays, keep building, and don't try to get greedy. You can't get 13 points all on this drive here.
Colandrea designed run, squirts forward and gets about 1.5 yards. Branson Combs in on the stop. 3rd down and short coming for Virginia. They haven't run the ball well, just over 50 yards rushing. Malachi Fields has been the big play threat for this offense. And they're 2 for 10 on 3rd downs in this game. Four-man rush. Colandrea through his progression finds his tight end Tyler Neville with 2 touchdowns in the first half. It's a conversion here of 10 on 3rd down.
That's a big boy play right there. That's terrific. Just watch the quarterback go through his progressions and then get all the way back to the tight end. Nice job there by Colandrea.
And now here, this one goes out to the sideline, and Malachi Fields gets involved again for 11 more working on Blue.
I like the rhythm. He talked about the rhythm, right? When that back foot hits, he wants to get the ball out of his hands. He's a quick thrower of the football, and right now, this drive seems to be quick and on time.
Colandrea pulls it and fires sideline with a flag down. Malachi Fields, another catch, gets tossed out of bounds by Cam Hardy, and that might be going on the center, Brian Stevens, perhaps for holding.
Yeah, I think you guessed it. It's right in the middle. It's hard not to miss 55 in the middle.
Holding offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to miss this guy right here in the middle, Brian Stevens. Tugging the jersey right there in front of that official. That flag comes out fairly quickly.
Working on Bryce Gaines, veteran defensive tackle. So now it's 1st down and 20. Screen, Trell Harris. And Harris slips a tackle and gets inside the 40. So gets a lot of that back with 8 yards on the screen.
Yeah, a lot of it back, but it's still a positive play, right? They get the positive play, but then the negative play. We just talked about it. Continue to stack the positive plays. Kobe Pace hasn't ran the football since the 1st quarter. He's got 3 carries for 2 yards. I don't know why they haven't gone back to Kobe Pace, who really set the pace for them last week. They just went away from him.
Yeah, Xavier Brown had stepped up, but it is Pace in the game. And again, it's to the air, and it's Harris on another screen. And Trell Harris with a burst to the 24 for 15 yards. Positive plays indeed.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. Just get the ball out quickly. And just get the ball in your guys' hands. Trell Harris makes a play. The quicker Colandrea gets the ball in their hands, let the skill position players take over.
Colandrea up tempo. End zone. Got him. Trell Harris for the touchdown. And it's a 1-score game again in Winston-Salem.
This time the tempo got to Wake Forest. It was tempo, 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 and Trell Harris just gets lost. That's a coverage breakdown by an experienced secondary. No one's covering Trell Harris, and Trell too real with the touchdown.
He bounces back after dropping a would-be touchdown from 50-plus back in the 1st half, right out of the gates. And now he's got 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks for Virginia. Says he always felt like he belonged in the Power 5 out of high school. Only had offers from a couple schools in the MAC. Now he's here in the ACC.
Prime Time is presented by More with Geico, and in part by ACE, 100 years of help. ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Geico. Get more with Geico. And in part by ACE, 100 years of helpful.
This is Wake Forest's Gold Rush game. And 3 weeks ago, players from Wake Forest team visiting Brenner Children's Hospital during this month of September, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And you see those gold ribbons all over the place tonight, and just a wonderful cause. Coin toss was with 6-year-old Lane Patrick, diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia when he was 5. Great to have Lane here as well. Keep on fighting, Lane. All right, we got a 6-point game, 10.5 minutes to go. Wake Forest leads, and we'll get it at the 25.
We got a ball game. You know, that's what we wanted to see. And it's been battling back and forth. This third quarter was dominated by Wake Forest, but you get one score, you get one stop defensively, and now all of a sudden Virginia is right in this football game. Down a couple players on defense. Do they have enough down the stretch? And can Bachmeier put this team, Wake Forest, on his back in the fourth quarter and lead them to victory?
As he duels with Anthony Colandrea for Virginia. ACC opener for both these teams. This is Tate Carney with a seam, and it gets stripped up by Jonas Sanker after 6 yards. Again, for Wake Forest, 4-8 last year, missed the bowl after 7 straight bowl games. This amazing stretch that they had been through, trying to start 2-0. Jason Hammond, the defensive tackle, is down for a Virginia defense that is in a war of attrition right now.
Yeah, they're dropping. Each and every play, it seems like a player is heading to the sideline. Is it cramps? Is it? We don't know. But, man, they're losing players left and right.
We'll check on Hammond after this. Jason Hammond is the 5th Virginia player defensively to deal with some kind of injury and get some kind of attention in this game.
Yeah, this has been a tough one. So many defensive players going into the tent, and now you've got a thin crew. This is what kind of plagued Virginia last year. Now losing and hoping the depth behind them can bring this game home.
As they trail Wake Forest by 6. Hank Bachmeier gets rid of it toward the sideline, toward Greene. And he hung on to it. Donavon Greene makes the catch with Dre Walker bearing down on him for 13.
Just a step slow was Dre Walker. He tried to get in there. Bachmeier got just enough. They couldn't get the full power that he wanted, but just enough for the big first down.
Inside of 10 to go in this fourth quarter. And Bachmeier steps up, fires downfield, and it's Greene again to the 37. And this is the healthy and star-capable Donavon Greene.
Yeah, that's the 10th catch of the game for Donavon Greene. Bachmeier's found a favorite wide receiver, Mike. He's found a favorite. And Donavon Greene, he's just putting it out there for the 6'2", 210-pound wide receiver to go out and make plays.
Tate Carney takes it into the pile. There's not much there. I mean, again, a 6th-year senior in Donavon Greene. Dave Clawson says he's as gifted as anyone we've ever recruited here. Greene had a great season in 2022. Wanted to be a high draft pick, so he decided to bet on himself, but then got injured in camp last year. A second knee injury to the same knee. He's back, maybe a little bit longer than he expected. 6 years here, and he's explosive.
Yeah, I remember last week he had the big catch and run for a touchdown. And I asked Coach Clawson, do you kind of get emotional seeing what guys have gone through, especially Donavon? He says, well, I think about the things that he's also put me through, but I was excited to see him because he's worked so hard to get to this point.
He said he's kind of driven me nuts the last 3 months. I didn't even think he'd be here 4 years, let alone 6. After the pause, it is second down, and Bachmeier under pressure gets swung down. Chico Bennett, the first one to him.
That's a nice wrap move. Chico comes from the outside, and he goes all the way back to the inside, and he goes untouched. It's a terrific stunt by Chico, and nobody from that offensive line of Wake Forest were able to pick him up.
Virginia had 11 sacks last year. They've got 5 tonight. Third down and 9. Pressure comes. Bachmeier gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Fourth down. Not on the same page with Horatio Fields.
I think that's the pressure look. Bachmeier was expecting pressure, and I'm not sure that Fields saw the pressure. He's running a go route, and yet Bachmeier throws sort of a blitz look type of throw.
Again, career long for Matt Dennis. The kicker is 46, so this is outside of his range. Wake has 4th and 9. They've converted twice on 4th downs tonight. 5-man rush. Bachmeier rolls. Flags fly. Bachmeier fires. He's got it complete to Fields inside the 15. And now a third flag comes in at the end of the play as well.
4 flags. I count 4, Mike. I got one over here at the 26, one at the 47, one over here at midfield, and well, 2 at midfield. So we got 4 flags on the play.
We got them all over the place. 3 near the backfield, and then 1 on the near sideline where the Wake Forest receiver had been running downfield.
We got 2 flags on the 50-yard line.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Holding defense number 9. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 82. Holding offense number 55. Those fouls will offset 4th down.
So repeat the down. So all of that, and you repeat the down.
Cam Butler, you just saw off to the sideline. He was the one with the roughing the passer. Jam Jackson, the corner, had the holding, and then on the offensive line for Wake Forest as well. So Deacs get another crack at it, needing 9. Up by 6 midway through this 4th quarter at home in Winston-Salem in the ACC opener.
Donavon Greene's down here at the bottom.
6-man rush. Bachmeier goes down. by Trey McDonald. And it's a turnover on downs, and the Cavaliers have the momentum.
Well, that's where Bachmeier wanted to go with the football. He had his eyes right there on Donavon Greene. But a nice job by Virginia. They double-teamed him. They had the safety on the top, and Bachmeier wanted to let that ball go. He had to hold on to it, but great coverage, and Trey McDonald comes in for the sack. That is 6 sacks today by this Virginia defense by 6 different players.
That's something that will fire up John Rudzinski, the third-year defensive coordinator. Again, after they had 11 all of last season, tied for the fewest in the country. And now Anthony Colandrea and the Cavaliers go to work with Xavier Brown on the ground out to the 49. Branson Combs the stop after 5, and the Cavaliers are thinking tie and take the lead.
And I love the patience. Remember the last series, we said you can't get it all back in one series, but it's just stacking the positive plays.
Brown ducks down with nothing there. Again, they're leaning on him, and you said it, Kobe Pace still sitting on just those 3 carries.
Yeah, and on that last one, it looked like he slipped. And I think that's what I saw from Brown as he tried to make that cut to go north and south. He just slipped. But 3rd and 4.
And who do you go to here?
I'm seeing Fields and Neville at the bottom of the screen. There's the motion by Neville.
3rd down, they keep it on the ground with Xavier Brown. And it's a couple of yards. 4th down coming. Now, if you're thinking 4-down territory to begin with, you're probably okay with that run.
Yeah, I think that's what the thought process is there. Could you have snuck the ball and got it right there for the 1st down? But it does give you a 4th and short. And here come Pace comes in. So now you've got Kobe Pace, the better blocking back.
And he's got 20 pounds on Xavier Brown as well. If they do keep it on the ground. They've trusted Calandrea's arm on 4th down and short. Again, Colandrea, a crosser, hung on to by Fields to move the sticks for Virginia.
And that was called a double mesh route. You had the 2 underneath crossers. Neville comes from the right, or comes from the left, I'm sorry, and then Fields from the right. Nice job by Colandrea knowing that it was in zone, found Fields.
Play action. Colandrea uncorks. Sideline for Fields. Tied up and a flag comes in. Jamari Glasker in coverage. Likely hit with pass interference.
Man, Glasker never looked back at the football. He had the left hand on Fields. Fields is trying to adjust and get back to the football. But Glasker had that left hand on him.
Defense, number 25. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
The confidence of Colandrea to throw the ball up. Just watch that ending. Fields is trying to get back to the football. Glasker's not even looking back. And Fields trying to adjust, but Glasker holding on. That's where the penalty came in.
And how about some big 4th down conversions from Virginia here in this game? Trusting the arm of Anthony Colandrea. Fake the pitch. Colandrea checks it down. Kobe Pace gets swung out of bounds by Dylan Hazen.
I love that decision there. Because Colandrea, he's looking down the field. He wants to make the big play, but he made the routine play. A lot of coaches always say, can you make the routine play routine? That's what that was. Get what you can, a positive play, and get to the next down.
Here is Pace on the ground, lowering the shoulder and running right at Nick Anderson. A 1st down, and Pace is fired up.
Yeah, Pace running right through the leading tackler for this football team, number 45, Nick Anderson. It's mano-a-mano, and Pace lowering the boom on Anderson.
And now Anthony Colandrea in the red zone, scanning, moving, still searching. Colandrea for the end zone, incomplete. With Pace and Neville on the scene. 2nd down.
I believe Pace may have stepped out. I see that official on that side over there had the hat off. That tells me that the intended receiver stepped out of bounds. That probably would have been a penalty had Pace caught that football.
With Virginia marching. They've trailed by as many as 14 in this game. Closest they got was 2017 at halftime. Down by 6 now in the 4th. Colandrea for Fields, who goes up to make the catch on Glasgow. A 9th grab for Malachi Fields.
I think this is a 4-down territory situation. But Mike, what I always see down here, the spread out, spread the receivers out, and Colandrea taking off. A design quarterback run. If I'm Wake Forest defensively, my antennas are up for the quarterback run on this play.
A super confident sophomore quarterback on 3rd down. Gives it to Pace. Pushes the pile inside the 10. And it brings up 4th down. Ran into the arms of Nick Anderson. 2 yards, and it is 4-down territory like it was earlier on this drive for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, just trying to cut that opportunity in half. You hope to get it on 3rd, but you love the situation here, 4th and 2.
They've been in 4th and 1 and 4th and 2. Both times, Colandrea has gone to the air.
Yeah, I love a run play option here for Colandrea. The bunch at the bottom, but giving Colandrea an opportunity to take off with his legs.
Pressure comes. Colandrea gets rid of it to Fields, who's got the conversion. Down to the 2, and it's Malachi Fields again.
That's a Sunday catch. That's a big catch from Fields.
They go up tempo. 1st down and goal. Colandrea pulls, jukes, pushes toward the goal line. Waiting on a signal, and they mark him short. Just inside the 1. And for Virginia, that might not be the worst thing.
No, it may not be the worst thing, but here comes the package, right? We called it the Elway package, but here comes the Grady package.
After another 4th down conversion.
Virginia's version of the brotherly shove, the tush push. Here comes the big boys.
One of the backup quarterbacks, Grady Brosterhouse, under center, gets a push. Touchdown! Virginia's a point after away from its first lead tonight. And how about the first career touchdown from one of the backup quarterbacks in the Grady Bunch package for the Cavaliers?
That's what the players call it, the Grady Bunch. You bring in the big boys, you bring in the extra offensive linemen. Ugana Nana, number 71. You get the tight ends in there, and you just push. And here's the big extra point coming up.
From Will Bettridge. And Virginia's got the lead with 2:07 to go in the 4th. So 3 4th down conversions for Virginia tonight.
But none bigger than this one. Malachi Fields, you need your big-time players to make a big play in the big moment. 4th down, Malachi Fields adjusts his body, and he's got the defender draped all on him in Glasgow. That's a big, strong catch. Yeah, he flexed a little bit there. But that 4th down conversion set up the play at the goal line. And you talk about UVA strong, UVA tough. These are the moments that Coach Elliott kept talking about, how big this game was for both teams, trying to establish. The cultures are already established, but this is where you develop the identity. This is an identity game, and Colandrea is showing that identity.
And how about the smile and the comfort right now in the tense moments for Tony Elliott, who said to his staff all week and said it to Dave Clausen standing at midfield pregame, it's a program game, he said, for Virginia. Coming off a couple 3-win seasons in his first 2 years at the helm in Charlottesville. Wake will have it at the 25 with 2:07 to go, 3 timeouts. But meantime, Anthony Colandrea has been hot for the Hoos.
Mike, he's growing up in front of us, right? The young sophomore, just putting the team on his back, getting the ball to Malachi Fields. Trell Harris with the touchdown a little bit earlier, but these gotta have it plays, those 4th down plays, the belief from his head coach Tony Elliott to put the ball in the quarterback's hands, and he's delivered, especially on those 4th downs.
They wanted to see better decision-making from him as a sophomore. Won the job with a week to go in camp over Tony Muskett, the transfer they brought in last year. He's led the comeback from down as many as 14 tonight. And now Hank Bachmeier's turn for Wake Forest, trailing for the first time this evening. Four-man rush. Bachmeier escapes and uses his legs to get out after 7 yards to the sideline. Run out by James Jackson. And we hit the 2-minute timeout here in the fourth. Virginia by 1 on the road in the ACC opener in Winston-Salem.
The college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
Sure is, Kevin. And out of the 2-minute timeout, Hank Bachmeier's under pressure, fires, and got it away incomplete in the direction of Horatio Fields. Chico Bennett brought the heat on Bachmeier. Third down.
This Virginia defense, I'm lost for words. Where did this pass rush come from? This is a much different team that we've seen all of last year. They could not sack the passer. They have harassed Bachmeier, especially in this second half.
And now third down and 3. Deacs down a point. First time they've trailed tonight. Pressure comes. Bachmeier gets rid of it and finds trusty Taylor Moore. He takes off to midfield. Tripped up at the 50 by Trey McDonald after 19.
You love the route combination over there. You get a clear out, and then Morin turns around. That ball's delivered on time. See the route distribution. It gets around, and boom, it stands up. Just communication, different levels by the defense of Virginia. Got to communicate.
From the plus 49, 3 timeouts to work with for Wake. Bachmeier fires, got it complete. Morin again. Football came out. Greene tried to pick it up, and it looks like Virginia's got it. On a fumble by Taylor Morin. Antonio Clary's got the takeaway.
You want to see hustle? You want to see effort? That's effort. That's an effort play. That's the clips that tomorrow when you say, how did Virginia win this football game? It's these types of plays. It's unwilling. It's getting there to the football and making plays. That time, Malcolm Greene with the hit that knocks the ball loose. And then Antonio Clary, a guy who missed all of last season, Mike, comes in and makes one of the huge plays in recovering that football.
Last year, tore a few ligaments in his ankle in fall camp and was out the whole season. And with Greene going in initially, looks like the ball's out before the left knee's down.
That ball's out. That is a hustle play by Malcolm Greene. Comes in, rips that ball out in the hustle of Antonio Clary to get in there and wrestle that ball away. He wanted it more.
From Donavon Greene.
He wanted it more. Greene was trying to pick the ball up, and it seems like pick it up and then try to run with it. And Clary just fought for the football and got it.
What an effort play by one of the guys who was dinged up earlier in this half as well, Antonio Clary, in a defense full of them for Virginia tonight.
Yeah, I just, looking at Donavon Greene, I thought he wanted to pick it up and advance it. But yet Antonio Clary was just trying to recover it again and just rips that ball away. Huge play.
Waiting on any announcement from Jerry Magallanes, and he signals that it's Virginia football. What an effort play by Antonio Clary.
And the game's not over yet. You still got 3 timeouts for Wake. 1 first down right here for Virginia. This game's over. So if you're Wake, you got to sell out defensively, try to get a stop, and get the ball back. And you're saying for Virginia, we need 1 first down.
They've struggled to run it all night. Colandrea keeps left side, and he will lose yardage. So Wake Forest can use its first timeout. They stop the clock with 1:19 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, just what the outstanding play. Bachmeier to one of his favorite targets in Morin. And an outstanding play by Malcolm Greene. Comes in and knocks that ball and just rips the ball out. And Donavon Greene's running to the football. He's trying to pick it up and advance it. That's where his mistake was. He should have just jumped on the ball, because Antonio Clary, number 0, he's coming in to recover. And he wrestled that ball away from Greene for the recovery, and that's where we stand right now.
It's not hyperbolic to say that is one of the biggest plays for this program in recent memory.
Absolutely.
Trying to start 2-0, something they haven't done since 2020, and in year 3 for Tony Elliott. Colandrea keeps it again, and Colandrea works back toward the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down upcoming. Dylan Hayes in the stop, and a second Wake timeout after just 6 more seconds come off the clock. And it's been more than 20 years since Virginia won here in Winston-Salem. When Matt Schaub was at quarterback, threw for 3 touchdowns, had Heath Miller grabbing a couple of touchdown passes, and Virginia got a 38-34 win here in Deactown.
That's a long time ago. 2 great NFL careers there from Schaub and Heath Miller. But it's a big 3rd down right here. Virginia I don't think they don't put this ball in the air. They forced that final timeout. So trying to get a run play north and south, maybe get one of those sweeps to the outside to utilize some of this green grass with the ball being on that left hash mark.
And this is when the decision-making for Anthony Colandrea is of vital importance. He is going to the air with a quick one to Malachi Fields. Won't be enough for a first down. They get it out to the 36, and Wake Forest takes its final timeout with 1:08 to go here in the fourth.
Wow, that's a gutsy call there, putting that ball up in the air, Mike. I would have tried to just run the football and still force Wake Forest to take the timeout. But, hey, they got the timeout. Everything is good.
You think about what we've seen already around the ACC. Yes, SMU, if you need a reminder, is now in the ACC. BYU got the win against SMU. Syracuse, led by Kyle McCord, the Ohio State transfer, with a big win at the Dome.
Yeah, huge win. Now Syracuse has entered the chat. All right, hey, we're here. We're a much different team with Kyle McCord at quarterback and Cam Ward another week. And obviously right now his Heisman odds continue to grow. One of the better quarterbacks in all of college football.
And here in Winston-Salem, a huge opportunity for Tony Elliott. Year one, 3-7. Ended with such unimaginable tragedy. Year two, 3-9. Felt like they had a more normal offseason coming into this year and trying to start out ACC play with a victory. But 1:08 left. Punt is a low line drive that gets away. Bounces past Taylor Morin all the way inside the 10. And down at the 5. With 57 seconds to go.
You talk about the perfect punt. That ball just kept going and going. And how fitting for Virginia. How many key players we've seen defensively go down. How many players have we seen have to step up today? And it's going to be on their defense to win it.
Two programs that fancy themselves very like-minded. Dave Clawson said to us it's two teams trying to get back. Well, Wake Forest is now in the hole. They're at their own 5 with 57 seconds left and in need of a field goal.
And the 6-year senior, Hank Bachmeier, to lead him.
From his own end zone, Bachmeier emerges, breaks a tackle, and goes down just past the 5.
And that's what you can't have. You can't get sacked. You don't have a timeout. So now with that sack, the clock is running, the clock is moving. You got to get everybody lined up. He's got to throw that football away.
They snap it with under 40 seconds to go. Bachmeier toward the sideline for Greene, who hung on to it. Got popped by Jonas Sanker out at the 30 and somehow hung on.
Wow, what a catch. What a catch, what a throw. Clock's moving.
11th catch for Donavon Greene, the stud wideout. Bachmeier, sideline again toward Greene. Jump ball incomplete with Jam Jackson in coverage. 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, good no call there. Hand fighting by both guys, jockeying for position. And that ball is overthrown now. And here comes a line change for the defensive line, but an unbelievable catch. How does Bachmeier get it in between the corner who's underneath and that safety over the top? That's the coverage you're going to get down here. You got the two high safeties that are going to make sure that everything stays in front. Force Bachmeier to have to deliver a perfect football.
Low snap, Bachmeier picks it up under pressure, flag down, got away, floats it toward Fields, who made the catch just past the 40. Clock shows 11 seconds, so we've got to check 2 different markers.
And it looks probably like a hold. I saw 2 guys go right to the ground holding Wake Forest, which results also in a 10-second runoff.
Holding offense number 62. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's on the left tackle,
yeah.
Devontae Gordon.
On the previous play was on the dead ball. So no 10-second runoff, but 11 seconds. You got to throw this one deep here, Mike.
And Wake's trying to get organized, knowing clock's about to roll. Backed up all the way to their own 20. They reset it, Added a few seconds, and now Bachmeier fires toward the sideline for Fields, who steps out of bounds shy of the 30 with 5 seconds remaining for Wake.
And you see all the defenders for Virginia now. They're all about the 50-yard line. They're only going to rush 3. They just want to try to get in field goal range, but this is the last play of the game.
And Bachmeier across the middle, got it to Fields, tries to lateral for Claiborne, kicked around. Virginia trying to pick it up. Wake Forest diving for it, scooped up the football, flipped back from Fields. Bachmeier got it free to Greene. Down the sideline, he goes down, and Virginia wins it in Winston-Salem. A flurry at the finish. Antonio